JP, correct guy. Junior Pope and swagger. Pope is dope. If it's not a hit, count me out. I make only good movies, just like there's in Washington. Give me your rag and I will swag with it. Swag Nation, who does that?
Nollywood has been thrown into mourning by the death of one of their own, Junior Pope. Actors like Nosa, Ruth Kadiri, Peggy, Fredrick, Leonard, they've all come out to just, pour out their hearts and share how devastating this loss, is for them as a community, as a group, as Nollywood. And you guys, this is just so sad for even them as actors, crew members, producers, and then Nigerians who are devastated by, the loss of somebody who they've seen on the screen for so many years, who they love his art, who they love what he does, and to just hear that he has passed in the most tragic way is just something that a lot of people have not come to terms with. That was Nosarex in the first voice note, hailing him, his guy, telling him that, oh, your last voice note, you were asking me about visa, come and do the visa, or you're no longer here, I've talked to the agent, they've looked at your paper, and it's just so sad that, you make plans with people and you just feel like, oh, we have all day, we have tomorrow, we have next tomorrow, and sadly, life really just be life and you don't know how much you have with anybody, and that's just so sad and actually very, very scary. Ruth Kadiri came out to pour out her heart and talked about how even her as a producer, sometimes they are not so careful and they take risks. She said, my heart is broken. As producers, as filmmakers, we are all guilty of taking certain risks for the job. In fact, getting home at 3 a.m. is almost a norm in this business. I cannot throw stones. I cannot ask why. This is a call to reminder that passion doesn't save lives. JP, may God receive your soul and grant your family the heart to bear the loss. Special thanks to Emeka Rolas, Regina Daniels, her mom, Vivian Gabriel. You were there 24/7 trying to do your own part. And it's just so sad that after Ruth Kadiri said this, there was also a post from Iniedo where Iniedo said that Junior Pope, that's JP, didn't have to, lose his life for lessons to be learned. She put up a post, and in that post, she said that Junior Pope didn't have to sacrifice his life for Nollywood to realize the need for a long and much-needed regulatory structure that would safeguard an entire production. Yes, everyone is a producer now and are all guilty of negligence of some sort, and this has to stop. This is one sacrifice too many and must count for something. The system has to undergo a total overhaul with practical rules and regulations that caters to everyone in cases of emergencies. I will never understand why the good ones go too soon. Rest on, brother. This one cuts really deep. If you've been watching Nollywood for over 10, 15, 20 years, you would know that Junior Pope's death actually cut really deep. He started from the scratch. And I don't like to see stories like this where people actually start from the scratch. They scratch, they keep on scratching, they keep on going. And when, boom, everything begins to look good, boom, death happens. It is just so sad. Also, actress Peggy and her husband Fredrick Leonard have actually taken to Instagram to share, how badly they feel about this. If they are actually close to JP, and Peggy said that this is the hardest goodbye, a jolly good fellow. That JP was somebody who shows up and shows out for everybody. Meaning, if you call him, he's there to respond to you. I think even in the surprise birthday that they held for Fredrick last year, he was there, to show how close they are to each other. And Fredrick Leonard actually took his Instagram account to post, and just said simply that this is like so hard for him. This hurt his heart, and he just, put a blank canvas there, should I call it that? And it's just so sad to see that people get to lose people that are so close to them. I know that life happens, and once in a while people lose people, but I think that one of the things that hurts more about JP's passing is how tragic he was and how much, he fought for, to just be alive. And sadly, he didn't make it. And I feel like it's just so sad because sometimes when people pass, we all have something to say. People have advice to give. Oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. Oh, CPR should be taught in schools. And when this happens now, they are saying CPR should be taught in schools. Schools will resume on Monday and the next Monday. And I don't even know if many schools are putting this into consideration. They'll just talk about it on social media and everybody moves on. We know how to move on so fast in Nigeria, and it aches my heart. It really does ache my heart. People are saying, oh, Nollywood has to do better, make provision for ambulance, a doctor doing shoot. Who is going to pay for those doctors? Are they going to make sure that these producers pay for these doctors? Because if they begin to make sure these producers pay, then less people will begin to produce movies, and then the people that are producing will know that, okay, we are ready for this production. Everybody wants to be on YouTube now. People that cannot afford this, cannot afford to produce a movie. How about you come together with somebody and produce that movie? Must you even produce a movie? Production is not cheap. A lot goes into it, and that's why back in the day we see that not everybody was a producer, but now once somebody acts and sees a producer under umbrella saying do this and do that, the person becomes a producer. We see it's not only even about this boat mishap that happened. Do you even ask how these people get to their locations? Do you know if they even squeeze themselves in buses more than the required numbers to get to see? Listen, Nollywood needs a total overhaul, like Iniedo said, and I'm just hoping that it's not just word of mouth. Oh, they need an overhaul, and 2 days later Junior Pope is becomes history, and everybody moves on to more dangerous things without any safety precautions, without taking care of their cast crew, just doing things haphazardly and just creating haphazard results, if you ask me too, because something you don't take time to do. What kind of result do you produce? Everything is not about results. What kind of result are you producing? Nollywood needs to do better. And the thing is, now everybody's on YouTube, like I said earlier on. So people can just carry 1-2 people, and the next thing they are shooting a movie and it's on YouTube. And if they're lucky, they get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million views, and that's it. And that's the next person jumps on to be a producer. This is so sad. This is such a sad passing. Junior Pope and even these cast crew members who have passed, young people, vibrant, trying to just make ends meet, trying to make a living, lost their lives. Families now in mourning, in serious mourning, because of one mistake that probably could be avoided. I hope that even after people are mourning Junior Pope, I hope that his death is the sacrifice that Hollywood needs to actually make this complete overhaul. I hope that it is. I hope we don't talk about this and go back to status quo again.